finally making it to the Neon podcast today.
2 years ago, we discussed in a coffee shop that the way to build a brand.
Cybersecurity is completely changing. It's an industry where plethora of vendors exist and still companies get hacked. Whenever I'm telling anyone about Astra, I never tell them that this is our revenue, this is our team size. I just tell them that, last year we uncovered 2.5 million vulnerabilities for our customers. And this helped our customers save more than $1 billion in potential losses.
You and Anand today have built Astra into one of the leading pen test companies.
Back in the day on our difficult days, we used to say that, till the time like we are working together, we'll create 1,000 Astras together, which will do crazy millions and billions of dollars of revenue.
What made you choose Neon?
Conviction that was built in such a short time was commendable.
Hi, this is Siddharth Aluwalia, your host at Neon Show and managing partner of Neon Fund, a fund that invests in the best of enterprise AI companies between US-India corridor. Today I have with me Shikhil. Shikhil, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, hi Siddharth. Good to be here and finally making it to the Neon podcast. I think it's an achievement unlocked today.
Thanks for that. And you and Anand today have built Astra into one of the leading pen test companies, right? If anybody searches the word pen test on Google, Astra comes, everywhere almost today. And you guys have built it from a very first principles kind of a way. I still remember, you have been in security and hacking right from your college days, then went to Paris,
Yep.
right? So amazing story of, first time founders taking first principle wise approach and, then continuously iterating and pivoting. And today, like almost every SaaS company in India and I think many in the US know about Astra Security.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey, definitely. I like to say that we've along the way made every possible mistake possible because there were so many things that we did not know along the way. And now we are actually going way beyond pen testing. With AI, we are doing continuous pen tests across cloud, APIs, whatnot, you name it. And the fact that, when you are a little naive and you're young when you start, you feel that, everything is so easy. When we started building Astra, we thought that the product that we thought we'll be building, it was a different product in firewall and more reactive real-time security space. Anand and I were in our university thinking about that product in a lecture, and we were so naive that I said that, hey, this is a firewall that we should make, and this is how a SQL injection and all these attack happens, because we were very savvy and into security. So how about we create something which actually prevents them on WordPress and all these CMSs and websites. Anand's like, oh, this is like a 1 week job. It's just an if and else loop that we have to do and host. And now we think back, and we had created a diagram also and felt very savvy ki what have we made is an amazing thing. And then we look back at that and we realize that how naive we were thinking that a complex product like that wasn't to be created in just if and else loops. So we've been like you mentioned, build everything from first principle. That's because we did not know anything else. So it was pretty much like our own research. What we read, we took that on its face value, and we thought that this is how businesses are built. So let's do it and build it. So that's how we actually built complete company. Every department's first CXO was either Anand or me before we actually got someone else to do it. So yeah, it's been an exciting journey.
The first part of the conversation that I want to cover today is like for mostly first time B2B SaaS founders starting today, right? And this is like this content is inspired by YC, right? How to build a company, right? So what we want to focus on is how to build a B2B, either call it enterprise AI or a B2B software company from day zero in an AI first world in 2025. So how would you have created Astra today if you were creating from scratch?
Super interesting question, because I would have saved so many years. Of course, there was a lot of hit and trial, but had I started Astra in an AI first world, everything I would have done a little differently and with a lot more time saved in the process. One example is, let's say, hiring. You can, if you've got the correct processes in place, you can actually get a half decent engineer and train them on your processes, because AI is very great at even reviewing your entire code base and infrastructure and giving context to a new person and make them productive very quickly. So that's one thing where we probably would have had engineers, one of the top and the most useful talent of any tech B2B company. So we would have had engineers who are able to contribute way quicker, and probably we wouldn't have had to spend a ton of money during early days, because money comes difficult during early days. Same as with marketing. In AI first world, marketing is absolutely changed. It is a lot of storytelling around brand, around founders, on why you built it. It's not even brand, it's the why of why you exist in this world, what are you solving for, because people relate to stories, and then you telling the world that why you are the expert at it. You have to really tell that brand story. And interestingly, that story is being picked up by AI quite a lot. And it goes back into your SEO results, to your even paid results that you see on Google, which are a couple of top channels that usually, apart from sales, that founders start within a B2B sales. So I would have loved to actually tell our story and why of our brand way early in the journey, so that we would have actually leveraged that in doing better SEO, to better to better ads and other channels. Because Google really, let's say there's a keyword, top pentest companies, if I want to rank one, and Google sees that Astra as a brand is putting out a lot of content on YouTube or other channels, and other people are actually putting a lot of content about Astra and marking it as a top pentest company, and it has nothing to do with backlinks. Then Google will automatically know in an AI first world that this is the company to look out for. So marketing, storytelling has changed quite a bit, apart from people ops. Similarly, there are other areas within uh, engineering, even security itself, like when you're doing a pen test. Uh, we've ended up making our pen testers so productive thanks to AI and a lot of automation that we've done. So I'm sure, we've always built Astra in a very lean way in terms of hiring people. But I think we would have done it at 1/5 of the cost, and even 1/5 of people along the way that we hired in a AI first world.
So if you're a founder today, let's say starting a B2B company, how much money would you raise today and what would you deploy in?
Great question. If I was starting today, I'll probably, in a seed round, I'll not raise more than 500,000. And and of course, this comes with the context that I am building out of India, because if you're in Bay Area or if you're somewhere global, the
The
logistics
cost goes up 10x.
exactly. Yeah, so it's with the context that we are building from India, not more than $500,000. And on day zero, of course, you have to have a minimal lovable product, and that definition of lovable, what people call lovable, has changed a lot. So I'm not. Previously, the entire narrative was that, even if your product is a little half baked, or it's scrappy product, then also it works, it sells if you are able to sell it. But I think that has changed, since the cost of building a product have gone so down, because it's becoming commoditized because of AI. The expectations of consumers have changed quite a bit. They expect a great quality product even at day zero, because in a free market, a customer doesn't care that you're a seed round company or a listed company. They want a product that works for them. So I'll definitely hire a couple of good engineers who create that lovable product. Second, definitely doing a lot of marketing and sales. So at least one person each for both the departments. I love when we are able to actually solve customer queries in record time. I'm obsessed with customer experience. So I would love to actually have someone in customer success or support team, also customer facing team, in addition to a ton of AI tools, because we use very AI first support tooling, but still I would love to actually have human touch on top of that, even in an AI first world. So that will be like my lean 4 5 people team on day zero. And marketing would be a lot of storytelling, would be a lot of putting out the why, creating videos like these. I think I mean, not definitely not like these, it's very professionally created, but definitely something, even if it's a founders doing this a selfie camera record while they are on a jog, somehow that flies with a lot. People value authenticity a lot, even if you're like creating a video like that. So that's how, like, on day zero I'd probably do marketing. And for Astra we did a lot of intelligent marketing, but probably we'll talk about it. So yeah.
Yeah, would love to know about, Astra has been a product and a marketing first company rather than a sales first company. So what is the ingredient that you put in to make that happen?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the DNA of the founders, because for the longest time, I believe that a lot of up to mid market type customers who are technical leaders do not like to be sold a lot. They do not like that mindset, because I've seen Anand, like, who's CTO at Astra and my co-founder. He doesn't like sales pitches at all. You educate him on value, but you do not really can a salesperson. He doesn't even accept LinkedIn requests from them, is what I've seen. Leave alone, like, I'm sure he has filters in his emails where he's like having, if any keyword is there which is salesy, it'll automatically get deleted or not even reach his inbox. So my understanding in early days was that a lot of people that we sell to do not really like selling, and we weren't great at selling either. Our understanding came from a fact that, if you've created something that people truly want, you have to just present it at the right place at the right time when they are about to buy or facing the correct problem, and they'll buy it. And that's the means to do that was marketing. So I remember on the first customers that we got for our first product was essentially someone from New Zealand whose website was hacked. So what happened is that we very lean marketing, $0 spent. We created a bot from a company account which scanned entire Twitter when for tweets which had the word website and hacked in it. And if these two words existed in a tweet, it used to auto reply to it saying that, hey, you should try Astra. It can unhack your website and prevent future hacks. So it auto replied to one of such tweets where someone had informed their customers, hey, our website was hacked and we are actually working on it, fixing it. Our bot auto replied, and this person actually came to the website, signed up for it, signed up for Astra and started using it, and this like paid us what, I don't know, $200-300 or something. So that felt like magic. We never thought that, you have to spend dollars. I'm a huge fan. Whenever my like current marketing team also, I feel that somehow in the last few years we've not we Astra, but in general industry has correlated that, marketing essentially means spending money on Google ads or these channels which are like super costly. But I feel that true marketing has to be very ingenious. It has to be these small growth hacks, which actually then you can make scalable and repeatable processes. So that's what I've always seen as marketing, and that's what we've done since day one. So this channel alone got us a few $1,000, like few $100 of MRR at least. And then we wrote ton of stuff on very targeted long tail keywords in SEO and got ranked and done that. And back then B2B SaaS companies didn't used to do a lot of SEO. For them it was sales first motion, and they're like, SEO won't serve our appetite. We've gotten some of our like top paying customers at $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 ACV using SEO. Like, you get one customer, they kind of even out the entire cost of the department, and it kind of uh, reduces the blended cost of your entire CPL of other paid channels. So I'm a huge fan of marketing first, because we as founders did not, during starting as fresh graduates, did not know much, and I'm pretty sure no one was going to reply fresh founders doing sales pitches left, right, and center. So marketing was the easiest way to actually get them to come to us rather than we going to them.
And how do you think, now Google's own search is under threat with OpenAI and other tools, right? Because people are going to first to ChatGPT and then may never go to Google even for searching local stuff, like for the people searching us like local shops on Perplexity, for example, right? So how does that change in the overall marketing for a B2B SaaS company?
Wow, it's changing left, right, and center. Every day something new is happening. Google is really, really trying to reinvent itself. And they are, in some areas, I believe they are succeeding also. But the way I see it, be it ads, I think the recent Google event, they clearly mentioned that there are very clear changes that are going to come on how ads are going to be displayed in Gemini or other platforms, or even Google SERP. Similarly, with, like you mentioned, OpenAI coming in and even other such tools. I think it's not even OpenAI. I feel any type of those chat interface, GPT interface, is essentially it could be powered by anything in the backend, but that's becoming the first source of search for a lot of people, and it doesn't have to be through browser either.
The behavior of search is changing, right?
Correct.
It's not going into the browser, it's going directly into a chat interface.
Absolutely. And I feel that even at some point, it would not even chat interface also, I feel, is a stepping stone. Probably it will go beyond that. It would just be wherever they are in an application, and it'll become that contextual that even chat interfaces would also be legacy after a while, is what I feel. And I think a huge shift in how B2B SaaS software's UX would be consumed is also going to be changing. I feel it's very much like how internet happened, right? Google was the gateway to the internet, and that's how people used to discover websites, and then websites used to have this pretty straightforward template in B2B SaaS that, you top 5 tabs have to be features, pricing, your product, solution, customers, and then login screen at the right side. That's pretty much what everyone was using. But I think all that is going to be toasted very much in the next few years, where how people would be consuming and discovering would be very different, and probably they might not even come to your websites either. They'll just discover you through these interfaces, and then probably you'll have a very and it could be an agentic interface for your solution itself, from where not people's but their agents interact with your agents, take a decision, take a pricing decision, and end up using your software. And interestingly, Stripe is actually they've released something I was reading a few days ago, where they are actually preparing for this future where buying and selling is happening by agents. And how can Stripe as a payment gateway be prepared for that? Because I think we as humans would just say that this is the budget that I want to allocate, and your agent will be trusted to take the decision for yourself. And for SERP currently, I think Google is not relying on those just backlinks or five different, not five, hundreds of various parameters that you used to see for ranking SEO wise. They're actually wanting to highlight subject matter experts, where there are third-party sources who are claiming a company to be subject matter expert. In that case, Google is going to kind of support you or rank you if you're talking in that particular domain or particular area. If not, you might have 1,000 backlinks and whatnot for that query. But if there are others who are who are seen experts in a similar area, not linking to you, then probably Google would also not consider you as a subject matter expert. So very interesting times ahead, or where we are headed.
So wanted to share some perspective to our audience. Like 2 years ago, we discussed in a coffee shop that the way to build a brand, and these are the two channels, right? One is case studies, and the other is doing a lot of customer events, right? How has been your journey experimenting with those two channels?
Oh yes, a huge shout out to you, back at you again, because uh, we, as you were correctly mentioning, we were very marketing first, just opening up sales back then. We didn't really know the value of in-person interactions or even these case studies. We used to have case studies, but then it used to be like just 2 3 case studies, which a very, like as I was talking about, standard SaaS website has, very similar to that. But we realized that, case studies are a gold mine when it comes to uh, people themselves discovering people like who are in the similar industry as theirs, reading and seeing their videos on your website and automatically making buying decisions. I've been a huge fan of putting pricing on the website always. It really acts as a great anchor, and I just don't understand it. It's 2025. Why still B2B SaaS companies do not put any indicator of pricing on their website? Because I think it's much required in a world where agentic is taking decisions, or even AI is trying to, if someone's asking AI, boss, please tell me some, let's say, pen testing tools which fit in this budget, then you have no indicator of pricing neither to your customers nor agentic, which is trying to actually make decision on the basis for your potential customers. Then you're automatically excluding yourself from that potential customer search. So you need to always have some indicator of pricing on the website, which essentially is your 24/7 salesperson. So case studies really helped us because we put various case studies of various customers in all kinds of industries, and we've seen customers in similar industries see those case studies, take a buying decision, and buy right from the website, zero human interaction. So if there's friction in your selling process, it's most likely in B2B SaaS because you created it. Person was ready to buy. Especially when we're in APAC, we feel that why would someone swipe their card for a $10,000 transaction? My challenge to a lot of folks building in this B2B SaaS space is try putting that $5,000-$10,000 plan on your website, and you'll be surprised how many people, especially in the West, when doing B2B buy, are comfortable swiping their credit card for that $10,000, because that probably isn't that huge expense for you if you're really providing the value and they are convinced. But if you are actually creating that hindrance, that first get on a call with me, schedule a call, then my person will come, I'll send you a deck. He's like, they wanted a solution 2 days back, and you are like not giving them that option. So case studies really helped us. And second was events. I had no clue how powerful these events can be. We've just a couple of days ago, we ended up attending an event where we were exhibiting and talked to a lot of security leaders in the space. They saw our solution within the booth. I think this is also a suggestion that came from you. You said that, hey, I mean, a lot of people end up having pamphlets and whatnot about this, but always like have a laptop where you can actually show your solution in action. We did that, and people see it. They see that it works. It's not something which is behind a sales call or paywall. They see it in action, play with it. Even it's like equivalent of how you actually go physical store shopping, right? When you touch and feel the product, you want to buy it more or you make a better decision. So in this exhibit, they saw the product, and we are like sitting on a few $100,000 worth of pipeline, from which I feel definitely $50 to $100,000 would convert. And this is just through one event, which was at the cost of CPL, which we probably get for just one lead through Google Ads in the US. So, and in that we attended a complete event and generated a pipeline which was way more than what a Google Ads would have generated. So the thing is that my realization has been that people have been seeing so much AI first selling, so many, even they were already fatigued from the COVID times with less human interaction, that at now they want to see people and put their future partners or vendors in person and take buying decisions from that.
I think both case studies and events help the the customer in the trust layer. Like if you have to do, and even the marketing, Google SEO is just helping the customer in that layer of the trust. So one way is, you know, what I have discovered is uh, these things lend credibility and trust both events when they see you in person, they see other customers vouching for you, and case studies also. I think the biggest thing is when you are not so big, uh, can other people lend trust to you? For
Yeah.
example, through their brand. For
Yes.
example, it can be, and that's why, you know, recently Mark Andreessen said of A16Z, the biggest value that a VC can bring is power,
Yes.
right? And he said that power in terms of not just capital, but in terms of lending the trust. For example, if A16Z invests in a company, they bring all the A16Z network, and they also bring, for example, the A16Z uh, introduction machinery along with it, and the customers can hence trust that it's a A16Z backed company. So A16Z has done X level of DD, and you know, so I think that's one of my theories, right? While you know, and VC can be like one form of trust. So there are other forms of trust. Let's say calling, you know, a big CISO at your event.
Correct. Absolutely, 100% agreed. And I feel the more upmarket you go, you realize that having a great product and a great solution is the baseline.
Yeah.
Post that, a lot of people like to work with vendors or solutions that their peers are ready to recommend. So there, I think what you said is bang on in terms of a CISO recommending you, or you probably associating yourself with a VC which has a great brand value, to even customers who are like, known face in the industry actually vouching for you. That goes a long way. And yeah, as I say that, trust is always borrowed, it's not bought. So it's I mean, so someone lends your trust, and in the West, that's a huge thing. They do not hire people until they do a thorough ref check. So references go a long way, and we've seen people take tens of $1,000 of at least worth of decisions in a jiffy, because we came recommended by a peer of them who were using it, using Astra. So yes, 100%
Yeah,
works.
and I would like to highlight one more playbook, right? Recently, with Vijay Rayapati of Atomicwork adopted, that he did round where only CIOs invested. Like there were 42 CIOs
Yeah.
that invested. It took 2 months of making that round happen, right? But it's now paying for the future
Yes.
3 years, because these CIOs are now lending their trust and credibility to a company.
That's huge. I mean, I'm waiting Vijay to get patent it as Vijay's fundraise playbook, or Vijay's GTM playbook,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
It's definitely that. And uh, even I feel even more happy because like he's a founder from Indian
yeah,
origin and an Astra customer.
yeah,
So super happy that they've built this interesting thing, and it's very ingenious because when a CIO is investing in you, before them they are they're investing in personal capacity.
yeah,
They're not investing their company's money,
yeah,
which means it's even 10x more powerful, because they are not allocating a budget, they are allocating their savings
yeah,
or what money they had in their bank. And which means that they really saw something great in Atomicwork, which caused them to actually say that, hey, I mean, I'm personally vouching for you folks, and go ahead, take my money. So I wish more founders did that, and it's a great playbook for early stage founders. And we're talking how, if let's say if in today's world $500,000 is enough for a seed round, considering AI productivity and all that, maybe a good anywhere between 1/5 to 1/3 of that amount can come from your possibly your ex boss to your potential customers who see value in what you're doing. That would be a great way to actually, then your next round is kind of sorted, and so is your GTM play. I mean, it's not even these people becoming your customers, it's just that they telling you what's happening in the industry, because when someone in the trenches tell you and are able to influence your roadmap, it goes a long way, and that value it's way beyond just dollars that they bring.
Yeah. Another thing, I think founders are too much obsessed about the word go to market, right? Go to market. I think if they replace GTM with COT, which is channel of trust,
Yeah.
right? That can help them think differently.
Absolutely. I think and trust is the ultimate currency in this world, right? And especially industry like ours, where it's cybersecurity. These people are trusting you know what vulnerabilities exist in their system. It's huge information that they are trusting you with. So in that case, I think if you're able to like kind of show that you that there's so many other people who are trusting you, it'll go a long way. But I feel question right back at you. You mentioned uh, we should use this currency of trust in this thing. So whenever I have like raised capital, one of the key questions that comes my way is, what are your top 3 GTM channels from VCs? So
Yeah.
how do you think like VCs would react if we change it to currency of
No,
trust?
I think uh, it would require a confidence on the founder's part, but it would be like category creation. I'm not thinking about GTM, I'm thinking of channels of trust, and
Yeah.
this is how I have displayed
Trust.
early success in each one of them. These are the channels, and
Yeah.
if you're looking for something GTM, I might not be the right founder for you.
Wow. Okay. I think a lot of founders, this is probably, I don't know how this fits into this conversation, but I have seen a lot of founders who, when they are raising and they're talking to so many people, they play yes man to
Yeah.
VCs. So they might have a different opinion, but they're like, okay, this person is 80% agreeing to what I'm saying, 20% there's a conflict. Can I just
Agree to whatever
agree
they're
to
saying.
whatever he's saying? But those 20% actually, in a long term perspective, has I mean has sometimes has a lot of consequences, because the vision of a company that a founder has versus a VC has can be different in that 20 percentage. So yeah, I think I'll probably start using currency of trust a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you can think of like,
Yeah.
and somebody who doesn't understand it might not be the right partner because they're not open-minded
Correct.
enough.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, and because what is also happening is a lot of playbooks are getting rewritten right now. So the old 20-year-old SaaS playbooks won't be relevant anymore.
I see SaaS very differently. Whenever I use the word SaaS, I am thinking probably different than what others are thinking. For me, everything in the world is SaaS. So I feel the playbooks are changing, but I feel SaaS is like the ultimate business model for the world. This is how it will continue. It will change and take many shapes and forms, but SaaS would remain the ultimate business model, to the extent that I see government also as a SaaS. If you see Indian
You're
government,
paying every year tax
yeah,
to the
your
government.
government, like Indian government has a like 95 percentage people on free tier, 5% taxpayers are like what direct taxpayers are on the paid tier. So and but then who are power users who are at 30% plus 10% cess, these people are paying for usage after
Yeah,
they've done that.
yeah,
And then the people who are actually not falling in tax ranges, they are paying indirect taxes, so they are like paying for, like they fall in that category when what we say for Google and these platforms, right? That when you are not paying for the product, you are the product. So those remaining people go in that category. And yeah, and you're using so many resources of government, so you're actually getting um, that in return. So I just feel that everything in this world that compounds is essentially SaaS. So with AI first world also, I feel this won't change. Cost would come down, GTM would change, but the software as a service will probably go more in backend, more subtle, but it'll be compounding the way SaaS is known to be compounding, and that's how the world would continue to function.
I want to know from you what is the landscape of cybersecurity today and how it's evolving with AI, and where does pentest fit today, and what you are doing at Astra fits today in the overall scheme of cybersecurity?
Cybersecurity is completely changing in AI first world. It's an industry where there always has been shortage of talent. It's an industry where security teams being fatigued is one of the top conversation points for every security leader. It's an industry where plethora of vendors exist and still companies get hacked. So with AI coming in, the first thing that's happening is that a lot of busy work that was happening in cyber is going to AI. SOC is one of the things that's a security operations center. This is one of the things that is essentially a team within security uh, group of an organization which really deals with real time attacks that are happening, logs that are coming in. They have SLAs. It's a very complex team which is very human capital intensive because you've got all the tooling in place, but you have to kind of relate them and see them. AI is good at a lot of these things where it's able to relate data from multiple tools, take actions based on the parameters you've told. So this is one area where things are really disrupting. A few other areas of security are vulnerability management, which is very similar. It's a part of that we do at Astra, and it's something which is it acts as a huge fatigue element for security teams where imagine an enterprise. They would have, let's say, a few hundred if not thousand web apps. They have a dozen of mobile apps. Then they'll have internal apps, few hundred, thousands of IPs which they have. So and of course end devices of their thousands of employees. So the attack surface is huge, and you're continuously scanning it for vulnerabilities. So at any given point, you have a few thousand to sometimes in millions of vulnerabilities that you need to fix. And the number of vulnerabilities which are like high or critical, which require immediate fix, priority zero, are also sometimes a few hundred in nature. Now, this directly falls under a developer's time because these vulnerabilities have to be fixed by engineers and developers, which means that, and these are like the most costliest team of any organization. Most costliest resource is a developer's time. So as you would imagine, this entire thing causes a lot of fatigue for security teams to deal with these vulnerabilities and know what the actual impact of a vulnerability is in their environment, not just what a tool is giving. So here, this vulnerability management AI is going to play a huge role where it'll actually validate a vulnerability against your infrastructure and tell you out of these thousand vulnerabilities, which three are actually able to cause a breach within the next 1 week. They have that potential. So now imagine the kind of busy work that was required to be done sanitizing thousands or millions of vulnerabilities and then having just 100 there. Also from 100 we are bringing down to top 3 that you need to fix now. It's a lot of time saved, and that's exactly the direction that Astra is also building it. So we are while we've done pen tests and build a platform that's self-praise, but I love that it's a beautiful platform that we've built, helps manage pen tests at scales for all this scope of thousands and hundreds of applications. Now we've made pen testing continuous, where you can actually scan your web apps through our dash scanner to our API security platform to our cloud multi-cloud scanner continuously, so that security should not be one-off thing. Next up is actually to help these security leaders to prioritize and validate these vulnerabilities and correlating these vulnerabilities across these target types to tell them that, boss, these are like you are seeing this high severity vulnerabilities in silos, but there's a medium severity vulnerability in your APIs which can be combined with a low severity vulnerability in your cloud environment to cause a breach. versus just a high severity vulnerability you are seeing in your web apps. So this kind of information, when we validate for them, it's like magic. It's like doing so much work and actually telling them what matters, and not just shouting the loudest saying that I'll discover more vulnerabilities for you, just like a lot of vendors in security team do. So I'm personally super excited to actually automate pen testing and really like own the pen testing space by doing at least L1, L2 of pen testing work continuously for security teams, so that human pen testers, humans, security engineers can actually focus a lot more on finding more creative vulnerabilities, and not report dumb vulnerabilities, because pen testers also hate doing that. So yeah, that's a lot of AI in between is happening in this. We've built an Attack AI engine, which is an offensive security scanning engine. We call it Attack AI, which essentially helps us build detections in a way a hacker hacks an application, and that too very quickly. So we're able to actually see applications with a hacker eye and build these detections very quickly, and build all our intelligence that we gather from doing pen tests into the scanning engine. So that this product flywheel is something that I'm super excited about.
And it's a very interesting story how you met your co-founder Ananda. Tell us more about.
Oh yes, we met at our university where we were studying computer science, and at first we got into an argument over what website CMS that club of our a club particular club of our university should use. And I was like really rooting for Blogger, which used to be a Google CMS, and Anand was actually rooting for Drupal or something. I think Blogger doesn't exist to us today, and Drupal also isn't quite famous. So but yeah, we do exist, and we are like alive and kicking. So we got into an argument, and then we actually ended up bumping into each other. At first, I'm sure Anand would have been like, I don't like this guy. And I was like, this guy is like, not like, clearly his and my opinions aren't in sync. And that was that. And then a few days later, we started bumping into each other in the mess, because we used to be the last people to enter the mess every day. So we used to end up having dinner together, and we used to like fight with these people that please give me some food. I was just 5 minutes late, and college messes usually do not really, they are very strict. So we used to fight, and then we used to sit together and have food in a like huge mess, and just two people are sitting as if we're a couple. So that's that. And then we actually asked each other like, why are you late? Or he asked me when I was late. So it turns out like he was running his own blog back then in tech space, and I was also running a website called hackingtweaks.com, like basically putting anything that I'm learning in security into a blog. And I never renewed that domain, and it became like a few $1,000s. So that was a loss. But now it's actually back to its original price. But yeah, we actually then got talking to each other, and we realized that how both of us are very much interested in security. I used to do bug bounty and whatnot. He used to write these tools called rats, which is a remote administration tool just for fun to prank on his friends. So we were both super interested in security, got talking, started collaborating, and yeah, ended up uh, building with each other. And for the longest time, we had no discussion of equity. We had no discussion of anything. It was nothing was on paper. We were just building together, and we felt that it's better to like increase the size of the pie rather than like fighting who would own the pie. So that's something has been always been the case. The understanding that we've had, it's been very people first. That for me, it's been like what matters is that I am on the same page with Anand, and Anand is thinking the way I'm thinking. And even if we have differences, we are kind of present like working on those as one unit. Even if I mean basically I think this is an Amazon principle also, that you where you I think what it's called, that you where you disagree and commit, right? Similar to that, like I feel that we're always like this one unit, much like I don't know, this arm, there's this one forearm, and then there's like a joint at the top, but in together it's called an arm. So we are like that arm, where we are like I'm one unit and he's another unit, but and which is like punches everything that's like one unit. So that's how I see it. And yeah, always glad that we've been on the same page and seen so much together, seen each other uh, in those shots of college to the best of the suits in these conferences when we go. And when you know that you've been with someone for so long, we always say, we used to, like, back in the day on our difficult days, we used to say that till the time like we are working together, we'll create 1,000 Astras together, which will do crazy millions and millions, billions of dollars of revenue. The fact is that we both have to be together. So right now also, with all that we've done all these years, we feel that if tomorrow we were to wake up and nothing that we've created all these years existed, if we are together, we'll probably be able to do it all over again. So, yeah.
Almost like a cute love story.
Oh yes, I that's not how I was planning to tell it, but I'm glad it's coming out like that. But yeah, by the way, both are like, I'm married and he is having a fiance. Just FYI.
I think everybody idolizes Sam Altman, right? Today, because I think in tech world he must be like among the top 5 most important people existing today. And he very early said that there's this thing as hard startup versus easy startup, and he has been big proponent that build a hard startup, it'll be much more easier. What's your take on that?
100%. You never see like 20 years olds or 22-year-olds building a cybersecurity startup. It's very rare. Especially when we were starting out, it definitely wasn't that common. And we've seen so many waves come and go. But we never thought that we'll do anything else, because cybersecurity is what we know. It's our industry. So I 100% agree. It's better to build a hard startup. It in itself becomes a moat. People have a difficult time entering into it and building something substantial in it. And when we started, we had like luxury of age and naiveness with that we didn't even think that we were doing something hard. So I agree to this thing, Sam Altman's view, that build something which is really, really hard. You'll be able to hire great talent which likes working on hard problems. Just because problem is hard, when you're actually going selling to customers, there won't be a lot of competition which is solving for that hard problem. And since it's a hard problem, it will be a pressing concern for them, for your customers. And yeah, there's absolutely no fun in building something which is uh, in today's world creatable by just AI overnight, right? Then the moat. I still believe that products are no more the moat with AI first world, but but really hard startups which go beyond just products, I feel still, the problem itself becomes a moat if you are trying to solve something hard. So yeah.
And for you, right? How do you think about your next 10 years or maybe even 5 years? Like, what is the difference, rather than saying X scale I want to achieve, but what is the difference that you want to create?
One of the things that quotes that I really love is, success isn't bought, it's rented, and the rent is due every day. So that's something that I really believe in. And I feel that if you are paying that rent every day diligently, you'll end up creating something which is worthwhile when you are 70 and you look back and you say that, hey, I created something which made a difference in the world. And the people with whom I created, they also felt the same. And for whom I also created, really remembered you for it. It's not about making money and having all these, fulfilling these materialistic dreams, because I feel if you continue on that path, these things become byproduct. Even having being remembered, I feel that's not something that I care about. Another quote that I really love is by Naval, which says that you don't want to be poor and famous, you want to be rich and anonymous. So that's, I feel, what I really try to live by, that you what you created should be remembered. Probably even if you are forgotten, it's fine. So in the next 5 years, if you're saying, I'd really love to build something which is powering thousands and thousands of organizations' security, ensuring that their infrastructure and their customers, which would be billions in numbers, are sleeping better at night, knowing that there's Astra, which is continuously finding vulnerabilities and helping them, maybe fixing it for them. Even one of the top things I never, whenever I'm pitching Astra or telling anyone about Astra, I never tell them that this is our revenue, this is our team size, this is what we've are building. I just tell them that last year we uncovered 2.5 million vulnerabilities for our customers, which comes out to be about 5,500 vulnerabilities a day. This number has almost doubled until this month of this year, which is almost half the, like a little more than half the year. And this collectively helped our customers save more than $1 billion in potential losses, which would have been uncovered if these vulnerabilities would have been exploited by hackers. So that's something which I feel is the real impact that we're able to bring, and I would love to 100 and 1000x over this over these next few years.
I would say, usually what we are discussing, uh, uh, a VC could lend trust. I'll share a couple of case studies where Astra lent Neon trust.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So one of the LPs who reached out to us inbound, he saw that we had invested in Astra and True Gradient, and that's why he thought that Neon has a good portfolio, and that's why within half an hour, because he had done all the research, he reached inbound and invested in us. And it's not like he's built a large e-commerce company or e-commerce enabler company, so quite a genuine LP that you know. And 2 days ago, a cybersecurity person from India reached out to us saying that you have invested in Astra and CloudSec, so you must be a decent fund. So
Wow!
yeah, not invested yet, but I'm saying the credibility goes this way
All the
also.
way. Oh wow, that's like, this made my day. And exactly, when we've seen, I actually, this is how I like to. A lot of times, my folks at home, my family has no clue what our scale is, who our customers are. But sometimes when I'm on a call, on a conversation, uh, this comes up, and they got to know that Mama Earth is a customer, and then they're using some other products, which would be B2C products or any B2B product also, and then they get to know that they're a customer. They feel really happy, and this is something that I do. Like a year ago, I was visiting Bangalore, and I saw this lane in HSR, which has all the startups and logos of them. And I was like, except this one building in between, every building has at least one customer logo of ours here. And we didn't optimize for that. And then next up we did is that the one building where there isn't a customer logo, let's reach out to them because we'd like to really close that. So I really feel proud where so many these interesting people come inbound and they respect us for what we are actually bringing in the ecosystem and what we are doing. That's, I think, we talked a lot about trust in this conversation, and I think in security that's the paramount thing. And I'm glad that 'cause so many customers put their trust in us. So, and this is like really fun to know that it helped you with the LPs also. So yeah, we can post the podcast. We'll probably talk a little bit about we having some stake in Neon's fund.
Sure, absolutely. Well, one last question that I want to ask you, Shikhil, is uh, what made you choose Neon, and how has you know the partnership been for you over the last 3 years?
It's been excellent. That's just one word that comes in my mind at the top. And interacting with you, Siddharth, and I can also say that I've seen Neon grow from 100x to Neon.
Yeah.
I've been at the part, so lucky
At
to
the
be
launch
part of the
party.
launch party. So it's been amazing, and you were that one person who committed a substantial amount at the fastest speed. We've seen investors take a ton of time, come back and forth, but the conviction that was built by Neon at in such a short time, it was commendable, and that conviction has only grown. It never felt like, it was a hasty decision for whatever reason. Every time we've met, every time we've talked, it has always felt that, that conviction has grown in what we are doing. And that's not because of anything that we are doing or growth or any of the parameters. It's, I mean, the company has good days, the company has rainy days, but Neon's conviction has always stayed. And one of the things as a founder, because we've bootstrapped for a while and in that zone, and when you do that, it's addicting. It's a drug in startup industry. If you bootstrap, you kind of become this free bird who likes to do their things their way. And when you raise capital, you actually learn how to do a better stakeholder management with investors, which is required because these people are putting so much money. But with Neon, one of the things that I really admire is that you've always let us build the company the way we want, been super patient, and it's always been a very, I would say, a little, uh, a little parasitic relationship where we come to you and say that, hey Sid, we want these introductions, we have this ask, help us in this GTM strategy, and you've done that, but you've never come in and say that, hey, what's going on in Astra, why aren't you sending reports? So you've let us build the way we like. As founders, it feels like, the investor has immense trust in what you're doing. So super amazing partnership, and it's not just you said, it's been be it Nancy, Shikhar, the entire Neon team. The fact that they work like a startup, it really shows that, they understand and have utmost empathy with startup founders. So it's been an excellent journey through and through, and I'm a Neon fan. I remember on the launch party, I actually brought neon bands for everyone.
Yeah.
As a so that they get a theme, like it becomes a theme party. So I'll be standing with those bands in the next party also.
Thanks. Okay. Anything that you would like Neon to improve?
I would love to now for Neon to actually raise a lot more money from LPs so that you guys can invest in a lot more companies, because I think the ecosystem would value. I'm saying on behalf of, humbly saying, and on behalf of a lot of other founders, that they would love to have investors like Neon in their portfolio. So raise more capital.
Thanks, man. Really value the partnership, and thank you for doing this podcast. Been amazing.
Thank you so much. I loved the conversation. Thank you.